Okay, this is going to be a quick demo of our complete ecosystem. If you haven't watched our overview videos, please do. The links are in the upper right-hand corner of this video. And certainly if you want a in-depth demo of any piece of the ecosystem, just get in touch. You can go to WineryConnect.com or email me directly at sam@wineryconnect.com. In this demo, I'm just going to go quickly through the main pieces of the ecosystem and then run a couple transactions to show how they flow through the ecosystem. So right now we're looking at my iPad that I'm sharing, and this is the Revel point of sale. It's in idle mode right now, so it's showing whatever advertisements for upcoming events or whatever you want it to show. I'll tap the screen and we will log in. So I'm now acting as a cashier, logging into the Revel front end. Again, tons of functionality in the front end here we can talk about, but for right now, I'm just going to create a new order, go to my main menu, and add some bubble Pinot Noir, enough that I get my 6 to 11 bottle discount. And then the key thing I'm going to do here is add a customer to the order. So I'm going to add a new customer, and I'm going to put myself in here. Going to use and I'm going to give my email address, my personal email address, which is sam1@gmail. Add that customer to the order, check out, I'll just pay with cash. And we're done. Now I can log out, and you'll see in the lower left-hand corner of the screen here, one order is still not sent to the server. So again, not going to get deep into functionality, but this is a good chance to point out one very interesting thing about Revel. The Revel front end is an iPad and is independent from the back end. So if your internet goes out, you still can process transactions in the Revel point of sale, and it will keep credit card information, and when it gets a connection again, it will sync up. The founder of Revel, this chief technology officer, one of the founders, was a hacker who got hired by the government. So he was a government hacker for quite a while. So he made sure there's deep levels of security and redundancy in Revel. So now we'll go to the back end, and I'll walk you quickly through the screens here. This is the Revel back end. Revel is licensed based on point of sale station. So you license the front end and per station, and then there's no license for the back end. You can add as many employees as you'd like to the back end and give them whatever permissions you want. This is VinESB. Now, in the normal course of business, you will never see VinESB. It runs in the background and is the glue that keeps everything held together, keeps things in sync, but it does have an interface, and we'll log into that to look at a couple things. And then finally, here's the TrueCommerce backend for selling online. So now I'm going to log into these interfaces, log into TrueCommerce. Going to log into VinESB, and I'm going to log into Revel. So here is the Revel backend. And here again, there's a ton of detail we can get into with anyone who's interested in terms of the reports, how to manage product catalogs, discounts, taxes, product classes, product groups, inventory. Revel has a very deep inventory control capability. Employees with roles and permissions, schedules, so employees can clock in and clock out of shifts if you want to. And then the Revel customer relationship management section. But for right now, I'm just going to dive into the reports and look at the order history. And we can see this order I just placed has been synced up. So now the new customer, Sam Weiner, has been brought from the Revel point of sale into the Revel backend, and this order placed for Bubble Pinot Noir is in the Revel backend. So the next thing I'm going to do is come over here to VinnySB. Now, as I say, in normal course of business, VinnySB will automatically sync customers, products, and orders between the systems. But so we don't have to wait for the automatic sync to happen. I'm going into a manual sync screen here, and this is a good opportunity to talk just a little bit about the different things that get synced. So we sync customers from Revel to Nexternal and vice versa. So if a customer comes into the tasting room, we'll sync them up to Nexternal like we're about to see. If a customer creates their own account online in Nexternal, we'll sync that down into Revel. So in the end, you have one unified set of customer data across the systems you work with without any re-entering of data. Similarly, we sync product in both directions. So if a product is created in Revel, in one of the many ways you can create products in Revel, it will be synced up to Nexternal. And if a product is created in Nexternal, it will be synced down to Revel. Product inventory, we sync one way. So Revel is by default the master for inventory. So when a inventory is removed or added in Revel, we will sync that up to Nexternal. This is all configurable, by the way. We can turn on or off any piece of this. And then orders are one way also. So we sync orders from Nexternal down to Revel. And then by default, automatically when an order is synced into Revel, inventory will be deducted in Revel for the orders that were placed online. And VinnySB, all the while, is keeping a copy of all of this data, so you have a unified view of your entire data set. Your customers, products, and all of your orders from online and point of sale are available here in VinnySB. And we'll come back to this in a minute and look at how we can do things like segment customers based on total purchase history here with the market segmentation suite. For now, I'm just going to manually push this customer that was just created in Revel up to Nexternal. So I'm going to start that sync. And you'll see here, it's going to recognize that there was one new customer created in Revel, and then it's going to push that on up into Nexternal. And now in Nexternal, I have a feature turned on where when a new order is, when a new customer rather is created and pushed up, an email is automatically sent. So you can see I just received this email here thanking me for stopping in. I'm using a dummy winery here, Vinicor Vineyards, and offering me a 15% discount for my first order in our online store. It's generated a password here for me for the online store, so I can log in and order things. So a great way to drive additional revenue and consumer engagement. Just one of the types of nuanced capabilities that we enable by tying Revel into Nexternal. Now we'll go the other way. I'm going to create an order in Nexternal. So let's say this is a phone order. And this is one of the great ways that Nexternal works. Staff can come into the back end of Nexternal, and a phone order, you want to use the online store because you want to get the correct shipping, the correct sales tax for wherever the order is being shipped to, and most importantly, you want all of your shipped orders to run through one workflow. So all shipped orders will be fulfilled through Nexternal in their workflow. So I'm going to create a new order here, and this is a dummy front end of a store, not very pretty looking yet, but will do for demonstrations purposes. And I'm going to order some Gewürztraminer and one of these bobsled reds. I'm going to check out, and now it gives me an opportunity to pick who's checking out. So I'm going to pick myself. And in this case, and so here's my customer, samwiener1@gmail.com, that was just created. So I'll select that customer. And normally the customer would put in their credit card. I'm going to use a dummy credit card number here. and submit the order. So now the order is submitted. Again, I'll get an email confirmation of the order like normal e-commerce. So here I see that my order's been placed. I can share it on Facebook, use lots of the functionality that Nexternal enables. And here's where staff would get a notification that this order has been placed. And then they can use Nexternal's really very slick fulfillment capabilities here. So when I go into first thing I would do is make sure I've got the wine available. Once I do, I'm going to mark this order as paid, which will capture that amount from the credit card. And I'm gonna, once I've shipped it, mark it as shipped. And it'll very quickly allow me to put in the date that it was shipped, put in a shipping cost, and if I want to, put in a tracking number. So now we're done. The order is fully shipped and paid. And again, I'm going to come into the manual sync screen here in ViniSB and show you that order now syncing from Nexternal down to Revel. So we'll start the sync. And again, the sync recognizes that there's a new order that was placed and that it's been paid. So it's grabbed it out of Nexternal, and now it's syncing it down into Revel. So now we can come here again to the order history in Revel, and we see we have one additional order here. You'll see it has the offline number is the actual Nexternal order ID. It's got a V in front of it to distinguish it from any Revel orders. So if I had just this Nexternal order ID, I could come in here into order history, 102461, and come straight to that Nexternal order. And you can see here, it's grabbed the Gewurz Bobsled Red, any online tax and shipping has been passed in as service fees, and we can see that this was paid by credit card. I'm going to come back to order history and show you an interesting feature. Revel in filters here has a nice little checkbox to say, show me web orders only. So I can check this, they apply, and now I'm only looking at my online orders. Similarly, I can come up here into the sales summary. So here is my sales summary for all activity in this day. Again, I can come in here to filters, and in this case, say I just want to see all of my online orders. And now again, I'm seeing just my total product sales and total service fees collected for online orders. There's my $12 in shipping, and go from there. There's again a bunch of other nuances that we could get into. Wine clubs are one of the most powerful things that Nexternal offers. So you can grow monthly recurring revenue for the winery with a wine club. Buttonwood Grove is our great case study. You can see our interview with them on our website in the video section, where Marcia from Buttonwood Grove, who drove that program, tells us that in 2018, Buttonwood Grove started their wine club end of 2017. In 2018, by the time we did our webinar in November, they'd added 260 members. So, and they were running club orders smoothly, syncing from Nexternal into ViniSB for common reporting and analytics, into Revel, and then they're using QuickBooks Online. So all that activity was automatically synced all the way back into QuickBooks Online. And then just as another example of the type of thing we enable here, we sync all those club orders in using a dining option of delivery. So we can filter in Revel reporting and see wine club in the sales summary, in the product mix, how wine club orders are behaving. So as I say, this is a quick whirlwind introduction. I'm going to dig just for another second here on ViniSB. I mentioned ViniSB is based on Magento. And one of the core reasons we did that is because there are literally thousands of extensions available in the Magento marketplace. So this is this last tab over here. We can see here there's a $200 one-time fee to buy this module for Magento, which is a market segmentation suite. I have purchased that, installed it on my demo instance here, and you can see here I can now create rules for this to segment my market. So here I'm saying who has bought bobsled red and spent more than $300, and who has bought dry reds and spent more than $300. I'll drill into this rule really quickly, and you can see it's got a full rules engine here. So I'm saying if a product was ordered more than 0 times for this SKU and the total sales amount is greater than 300 or equal and the order status is complete, we want to match that rule. So now we've got these rules and we can see the orders that have been placed. These are the total number of orders that have been placed, and I can drill in and say, show me the orders that match this rule, bobsled red and greater than 300. And there's just a couple in my name. I can come back here again, and now the really interesting piece, I can look at customers, and you can see there's 3,135 customers total in the system. If I apply the dry reds by SKU filter, then we'll see that that goes to 378 customers who have purchased dry reds and spent more than $300. Now I can export those customers to a spreadsheet. I can also come in here and move these customers to a particular group if I want to create, push them into a particular customer group based on that. Now I will, and I've got this all blurred out because there's a lot of actual data in here that I've been testing with. But I'm going to now shift and show customers that match the bobsled red and greater than $300 rule. And you can see this is just my test account. And so I'll unblur this and you can see the actual data that's shown here. So again, whirlwind tour here. We have our own extensions to Magento. This is our club module. To do case club rules the way many Finger Lakes wineries have told us they like to do their reward clubs. And again, lots more detail we can get into in further demos. So that's our quick introduction. Please let us know if you'd like a more detailed demo. Thank you very much.